Hi, I'm Kate Sousa. I'm 35 years old. I'm in Spokane, Washington, and I'm here with my direct supervisor, my lovely boss, Jamie Welch.
Hi, I'm Jamie Welch. I am 44 years old, also in Spokane, Washington. And Kate is our wonderful infection prevention nurse that I'm very blessed to work alongside.
Did we want to start out, I think, by talking about our experience here with COVID? Things were constantly changing, the guidelines were constantly changing. The state of Washington would sometimes come out with recommendations. The answer was usually talk to your local health department, which I've gotten to know them real well. Some of my best friends now are
Yeah,
the health department
agree.
folks. There was an answer. It was talk to your health department, but they didn't always know the answers to my questions. On February 5th, one of our residents was coughing and congested, and they did a PCR test on that resident and put him on isolation for COVID.
At what point did you look to see whether or not the patients who had tested positive had been vaccinated? What
Right
was that
away.
you did?
Yeah.
We have since lost two of those
Yes.
7 residents have passed away.
The fact that it didn't go to the whole facility, thank God. A
Yeah.
lot of other facilities, one person gets it and then you have 30 people. So our caregivers are doing something right. We got on top of it pretty darn quickly, but it still feels really bad. Two, not just people getting it, but two of these people died. And without revealing too much information, I can say that there is an extremely strong correlation between our caregivers who have gotten sick and our caregivers who decline vaccination. It's upsetting.
Yeah.
I felt like I pushed as hard as I possibly could have with vaccinations. The declinations that I was getting when I tried to talk to those people, tried to educate those people. I mean, some people did change their minds. Some people who said no at first later said yes. At first, when some of our employees were declining vaccination, it really bothered me. Later, I started to think about it as well, if those people are declining vaccination, that's more vaccination for somebody else. Somebody will get it. The important thing is that somebody gets it because we need to build this herd immunity in our community. And a lot of them are saying that they don't want it yet because they don't want to be one of the first, even though I kept telling them you're not one of the first. Lots of people have gotten it at this point. But then I realized later that once everybody who wants it has gotten it, if we stay where we are right now, that's not going to be enough.
No.
Unless these people who declined it before change their minds and want it later, it's not going to work. Because if you didn't want the vaccine because you were afraid of the short term consequences that don't exist, but that these people think might exist, then you've already seen that we've all been fine. Nobody's died from the vaccine.
Right.
500,000 people in our, how many people in our country have died from the disease? So if you're still worried about the vaccine having some side effect that's going to be worse than COVID,
Yeah.
you're worried about that being in 10 years. And so you're not going to get the vaccine next month. You want to wait 10 years.
Right. Right.
And you want to let everyone else be your guinea pigs and wait 10 years. And we don't have 10 years. Once everybody who wants to get vaccinated, if we stay with the current rates that I feel that we have in this country, we're not going to reach immunity. Variants will pop up and it will all be for nothing. We'll just have to keep inventing new vaccines and new things. And it's just giving up. It's just saying society won't stay closed down forever. There's a point at which, even if rates don't decrease, we're going to say we have to save the economy. We can't
Right.
let the whole country go on like this forever, which I understand. But if we haven't reached an appropriate level of immunity by then it was all for nothing.
You understand how the vaccine works.
Hmm.
You don't understand how COVID works. It ran its course differently in every person. That's unpredictability. I used to be a clinical research nurse. So I understand that there have been advances in technology and innovation in medicine. Every pharmaceutical company in the world already has base information to start with. So it's not like clinical trials really need to take 15, 20 years anymore. It's
Right.
as we look back from history, we know that this happens. People saying, oh, we haven't had enough time to study it and whatnot. That's just, to me, that's not an effective rebuttal.
No, absolutely. And even the things that people know that they can read in books about a measles pandemic or what have you, it hasn't happened in their lifetime. And so it just doesn't reach the same level in the emotional brain
Yeah.
where that the disease is so much worse than the cure. To be perfectly frank, in our society, we've had a lot of erosion of trust in experts. that I find really frightening. Expertise is no longer valued.
Mhm.
And even people that work in the medical community don't have trust in the CDC, don't have
Right.
trust in medicine, don't have trust in science.
Thanks for talking with me today about it and kind of recounting your experience, as you mentioned earlier. It's good to have that full picture of where it started for you. So thanks for sharing your experience with me.
Well,
Appreciate
thanks,
it.
Jamie. It's always good to talk
Yeah.
to you.
Thanks.